What's going on, guys? I wanted to come on here and talk about the whole R. Kelly hysteria. And, before I start this, yeah, this man is a very sick man. He's very demented. I know about the Aaliyah, marrying Aaliyah at a young age, the P tape, the sex tape. Now, let's start with the origin of this. This man was molested. I'm not defending him, but this man was molested by his sister at a young age. So as a child, at the age, it messed him up mentally. So he grew up with the mentality that he has to control women, had to tell women what to do. Like, basically, he had to, like, do, whatever it make them feel to make them forget about that past or just make him seem more dominant as a male because of how he was emasculated as a young man. Now, some of you might have watched the Surviving R. Kelly thing. I didn't need to watch it. I already know YouTubers was going to talk about it. It's been everywhere. Now, coincidentally, Bill Cosby's in jail, and all these white men that done the same thing, Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Woody Allen, Charlie Sheen, and the list goes on, the whole laundry list of these Roman Polanski. I don't see any surviving them, a three-part special and all that stuff, and major promotion for it. But let me be straight about this. The reason R. Kelly has been a way to get away for this that long is because the majority of his supporters were those criticizing him now. Those same black women that were pimping out their kids, bringing their kids to him, trying to make their kids famous, trying to make their daughters famous. Never forget, Aaliyah's uncle was the one that signed that marriage certificate and he gave a fake age that she was 18. Okay? There was, Drea Kelly, his wife, used to be defending him until this. I forgot her name. There was that that lady, not white lady. It was a lady. There was that lady. She had in the sex tape. It was actually her cousin. I forgot her name. Actually, but a lot of women back then, and even still now, I be seeing recent concert of it. It's still black women going out to defend him, but they're trying to deflect this onto black men for some reason, trying to push the narrative onto black men, heterosexual black men. Again, I'm not defending this guy, but you gotta admit that Vibe magazine had him on the thing. Even after they learned about the Alaya thing, the Root magazine had him on there. Essence Festival let him perform. I believe in one of them is 1996 and then 1999. Even though all these things was coming out to him in 1995, he enabled this guy, and that's why he been able to be out here for so long. And sorry, that was a text message I received. And I'm going to read this now because now they are prosecuting charges against him in Georgia. But never forget who were the main protectors and proprietors of this guy. Why they never took care of him 25 years ago. But now everybody's outraged now. Now the three-part documentary came out about him, but nothing about the white guys though. So, as you can see, this is coming from The Blast. R. Kelly is being investigated by a Georgia District Attorney for possible criminal charges. January 8, 2019 at 11:12 a.m. Post Standard Time by Gary Trock. R. Kelly is currently in the crosshairs of law enforcement as investigation is being conducted into his alleged misconduct with young girls, and one of the main women involved is now wanted for questioning about her relationship with the singer. Sources directly connected to the situation tell The Blast the Fulton County District Attorney has been actively investigating R. Kelly in a mansion he previously owned in John Creek, Georgia. We're told alleged victims Asante McGee has interviewed with officials and provided her eyewitness account into her time spent with R. Kelly at the Georgia mansion. During Surviving R. Kelly, the Johns Creek home was featured when McGee's walked through the property and discussed seeing women held against their will. We're told since the airing of Surviving R. Kelly, alleged sex slave Jocelyn Savage has been contacted by the Fulton County DA in order to come in for questioning related to her time with the singer. Our sources say the Savage family has been cooperating fully with the investigation. Our sources say one of the charges on the table for the Ignition singer is false imprisonment, and the DA has already spoken with at least one other alleged victim as they build a case. 23-year-old Jocelyn Savage has maintained that she's with Kelly at her own free will. However, her parents and friends believe she has been brainwashed by the R&B singer. The blast broke the story. Kelly's manager is also under investigation for allegedly harassing and threatening the parents of Savage. Reps for R. Kelly were unable to reach for comment. Now, as you can see, they're trying to get him. They can't get him back on. They can't get him back on the the stuff that he did 25 years ago. So they're going to try to do something more recent and try and make it seem. Well, I don't know if he's holding her hostage. She says she's there on her own free will. So they're probably going to try to throw some money at her to say that he was holding her hostage and all that stuff. And they're probably trying to hold him, get him in prison for that. They're probably, and just like they did with O.J. Simpson when he stole his jersey back, they're going to give him an amount of years that's basically going to be punishable for those crimes he did back then. They gave O.J. Simpson 9 years for armed robbery, strong armed robbery and all that stuff because he took one of his jerseys back from a fan who stole it, I believe. Now, again, I'm not defending this guy, but all these people, all this fake outrage, all this BS and all that stuff. And yes, I do care about black women. I report stories on it, and don't come on here and tell me I don't care about black women. I don't care about the victim. Most of these women were proprietors of this. They brought their daughters to this man, this sick man. And they knew that even then, and even now, they still went to his concert. They still put him on magazine, Vibe, The Root. He still performed at the Essence Festival in 1996, 1999. I said it already. But now, now that this Me Too movement thing's going, now that there's money to be made off of it, and, all these fake outrage and all that stuff, now that it has also came out that Abigail Disney is like a niece of Walt Disney. We all know how racist Walt Disney was. He didn't want any black people working in his studios. He had these tar babies and all that stuff, like the dark black babies and all that stuff. And remember, he had the crows and all that stuff, the jigaboo dancing crows and all that stuff. He was a staunch racist, Walt Disney was. His niece, Abigail Disney, was the one that greenlighted, that was the one that funded this whole thing. And remember, Lifetime is what it's aired on, and Disney owns Lifetime, or a portion of Lifetime, by what sources is saying. And by the research that, people like Tariq Nasheed did. And this guy is really good at bringing up receipts and proof of things. But I don't know what's going to come out this case. If they get him, hey, okay, I guess that's because Jocelyn Savage probably was paid, or she finally came out and said that he was holding her hostage. But they won't be able to get him on the things that he did in the past. And all of them are hypocrites. And all these celebrities coming out talking about it, like, go sit down somewhere. You know damn well most of them, like John Legend, you were influenced by people like R. Kelly, people that worked with him in the past. Please, just go sit down. And especially the women who were in that documentary. Most of you enabled him. Most of you brought your kids to him and all that stuff. And I do care about young black women. So when is this culture going to stop? I have to ask. Because this is going to be a long video. I don't even mean for this video to be to this long. But when is this culture is going to stop where we got to go for the bad boy? We got to go for the guy with all the materials and all that stuff. Mothers, to this day, probably would let their daughters hang out with rappers or other singers and all that stuff. And as soon as something happened, they want to play the victim. But that's all I have to say about this. Again, I'm not defending this sick guy. But remember, the origin of him becoming this way is because his sister molested him. So a black woman was the reason he became this way. And black women supported him back then. And now they're trying to take him down now because I guess they're not getting paid, or maybe they just want to be outraged because white people told them to be outraged and gave them a platform to be outraged. But I'm wondering if there's going to be a hashtag surviving Harvey Weinstein, surviving Charlie Sheen, surviving Woody Allen, surviving Roman Polanski, surviving the father from Seventh Heaven. All these other white men that did the worst and all that stuff. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe, share the video. I'll talk to you in the next one.